the actor on this, and he just said that Seth Green was awesome to him, and Seth Green let him crash at his house in L.A. after the movie, and he just said Seth Green's like the coolest dude to be around. So I thought that was pretty neat to hear.
I completely get that. You can look at him and know he's a cool dude to hang out with.
Yeah, just super chill.
Yeah.
I love seeing Jack Black, though, because Jack Black in the 90s, like Cable Guy, Waterworld, Biodome, he popped up in a lot of movies in the 90s in tiny roles.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he was famous. It was like you were like, I think he looks familiar. Oh wait, no, he's famous.
Yeah, but he put the time in.
Yeah, I thought he was actually younger than 24 in this film. I thought he was like 18 or 19.
I think High Fidelity probably did it for him, right?
Yeah, definitely. That's his big standout.
Just because John Q. Yeah, oh man, I like that. I haven't watched that movie in a long time. I wonder if it holds up, because I was like an emotional kid when I watched it, but now I'm an adult. I wonder how High Fidelity holds up for me.
I bet it holds up. I've definitely seen it as an adult, and I've enjoyed it, so okay. I think it holds up.
I own it. I just need to watch it. Now, I have a question about Aunt Irene, Edie McClurg. You would recognize her face, but where is she from? That's not a Cincinnati accent.
I'm glad you touched on this. So if you're from Cincinnati, you're more likely to have a little bit of a southern drawl. And then I read about Cincinnati accents, and this like report said it's closer to actually to a New York accent, but not quite. But that woman, I think, is from Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I definitely think she has a Minnesota accent.
So she moved there from Minnesota.
I really hope they're not trying to say that everyone in Cincinnati has a Minnesota accent, because they definitely do not. The other option is this movie was filmed for a city in like Minnesota or Wisconsin, and they're like, I guess we'll move it to Cincinnati because they can give us a tax break. Yeah. And just kept everything the same except for Cincinnati.
Because I kept hearing her, and then she was talking about making cream corn dinner, and I'm like, is this insulting, or is she...
It's insulting. As a Cincinnati person, I find it insulting. I'm like, no one knows about my city or my culture, so like anything that people are going to latch onto are going to think it's true. So like, there are people out there who are like, yeah, people in Cincinnati love cream corn.
Yeah, someone wrote that. Yeah, just do it. Now, yeah. You know the guy who came up with this story is like a super producer who's won Oscars for like Mel Gibson movies. He did We Were Soldiers, Passion of the Christ, Payback, and Braveheart. He's the one that came up with the story.
Really?
And then Bill Aplaza, who's only basically written that, wrote the script. But this was the story by a super producer.
This kind of feels like a money grab movie. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, yeah. Kids love skating, so we'll make a skating movie. But then, like, immediately after this came out, skating disappeared and dried up.
Well, and what I love too is the crew, right? So Darren Okada, the cinematographer, he went on to do Halloween H2O, Lake Placid, Stick It, Harold and Kumar, almost every episode, like tons of Castle episodes because Rob Bowman went there, American Reunion. So that DP, this is one of his first movies, and he's been working steady. John Meyer did the production design. I don't know if you read this. He won Oscars for Memoirs of a Geisha, Chicago. He's also done Mary Poppins Returns. And all the new Disney live-action remakes. He also did Wanted, 9, Rob Marshall movie, Days of Future Past, Ali. He did Elizabeth with Cate Blanchett. So, and get this, the the costumer, Abigail Murray, she's from Pennsylvania. I think she kind of stays in that area. But she also did Tremors, which wasn't in the area. But she did Warrior, which was around there, Next 3 Days. She also did Scream 3. But these people, and then the director, Rob Bowman, went to do Rain. You sent me a funny message. This dude did what? Rain of Fire? And we did that podcast. You should listen to it. But he did Rain of Fire, Elektra. He started Castle, so he's set for life. So the crew went on huge things in this movie.
Yeah, so what you're saying is everything good can be traced back to Airborne?
Yes. Right. But you watch this movie, though, and you do see a certain authenticity to the wardrobe.
Yeah. I read an article. I read several articles from skate blogs who said that, too. That's like, one of them said, like, we don't know if they were just really had their finger on the pulse or if they got lucky, but this captures what 90s skating looked like.
I wonder if they just brought out extras and told them to dress in the way that they would. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I bet they did. I mean, they also had Team Rollerblade there who was probably helping them wear what you would wear skating normally, and that's what they did.
And they had Chris Edwards as the stunt guy. He was huge in skating.
Yeah.
So they probably, but I mean, this movie the outfits look authentic. A lot of movies you watch that does, like nowadays especially, none of it feel authentic. But this movie felt that, and it captured that. So you could tell that there was talent behind the scenes. And also with the production design, you're looking at the bedroom of Seth Green, right? I mean, that was a really well decorated room. So you could tell these people knew what they were doing.
Yeah, it's everything about this movie is great, except the script is a little weak. And that's even but you're watching this movie for the skating. Let's be honest.
They had to pad this running time out to 90 minutes. I mean,
yes,
I'm watching this movie, and so there are montages that are minutes long. There's a scene where he's remembering scenes from the beginning of the movie. Then there's another scene where he's remembering scenes from a little bit earlier in the movie. There's another montage where he's skating. There's, I wrote this in a note, there are a lot of different things that pad the time. And there's a montage of him being pranked, where he's going to the bathroom, they get all the toilet paper wet, and he's walking around. That's a gross shot, by the way. There's a lot of montages in this movie that they had to pad. Did you notice that?
I did, and I was thinking about it too, and I was like, well, I could sit through this. It's only 90 minutes.
Yeah. This movie would be, what do you think, 70 without all that?
Yeah, it would be like the length of a TV movie, like an hour to 70 minutes, really. The story beats are fast.
And I gotta say, that hockey scene, I have never seen people laugh more about seeing a butt in my life. So they're playing this hockey game, and Mitchell got beat up by the big 30-year-old bully, the jock bully from the prep bully. And he doesn't want to fight him because he would get his head destroyed because the other guy's 30. So during a street hockey game, he runs up and he pulls the guy's pants down. And there's butt in a PG movie. And everybody just starts laughing. Jack Black goes, "It's so funny!" And somebody goes, "We saw a butt." I mean, people are, "That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Funny." Someone just yells "funny" in it. They laugh at this guy for probably 2 minutes.
I'm laughing because I'm laughing at the concept of someone writing that and think it's funny, not because I think it's funny.
I mean, I guess we weren't 16 at the time seeing that, but they literally yell, "That was so funny," and someone like butt and funny, and we saw a butt. I mean, it's the biggest, it's the great, and someone goes, "That was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life." Remember when they go to get Mitchell for the big race, and they're like, "That was the greatest thing that's ever happened in this city's history."
Oh yeah, you make it on the team because you pantsed someone.
20 years later, I guarantee that people at like a high school reunion, they're going to be talking about that. Jack Black's character is just going to be, "Do you remember that time we saw that butt?"
Yeah, Jack, we do. Okay, you talk about it every Friday.
Yeah, Jack. I know this is our 20th reunion, but we do this every week because we meet at the same place. Hey, so how about this? Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk more Airborne. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I gotta tell you, we watched that scene during the break, and you fell out of your chair laughing so hard. You were slapping your knee so hard that your knee came up and hit you in the head.
Yeah, brah, totally.
You were like, "Look at that! It's a butt." Whatever. I guess that's what teenagers, but I think you're right, because some guy wrote that. A grown man wrote that.
Yeah. So as a little kid, as like a 10 or 11-year-old, after seeing this movie, I did it to my neighbor's little brother. I was like, this movie directly led to me pantsing someone, so...
The 90s were never the same again.
No, never, not for me. I was like, They're like, you're going to be a comedy genius, and that didn't work out. I have some things I want to talk about related to Cincinnati because I feel like it's very rare that I get to talk about my city.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so the first thing is they go to this nice restaurant called Pompilios.
Mm-hmm.
I have been there multiple times, and my parents took my partner there when they first met her. It was like the fancy restaurant we were all going to go to, and then they're like, here's like the one Cincinnati restaurant, Pompilios. It's pretty awesome, actually, but it's not like I don't think of it as like fine dining in the city. It's just like a red sauce restaurant. So I was feeling really nostalgic when I saw that. And then the second one is, did you catch the PB&J burger?
No, I didn't see it.
So there's a scene where they're like, the camera's focused on this hamburger and the guy has peanut butter and jelly on it, and they film up to see the four of them at a booth talking. It's right before Mitchell's like, oh, they have 3 months left. Here's the thing about that. Cincinnati is known for chili. So like the idea that you go to Cincinnati and you do not show what a 3-way or a 4-way or a 5-way is absurd. It's like going to Philadelphia and not showing a cheesesteak.
So what's a 3-way? What's a 4-way? What's a 5-way?
Yeah, so Cincinnati chili, it's super thin chili made with all meat, ladled over spaghetti. So that's like the base. And a 3-way would be that with chili or with cheese, cheddar cheese, like a big mound of it. And then if you want to add other things, it's raw onions, beans, like the kidney beans, the red ones. Oh my God, what is the 5-way? What's going all the way? I'm forgetting. I think
tomatoes. Tomatoes.
No, a 5-way is all of that. So it's spaghetti, chili, cheese, beans, onions. And that's huge. That's like what Cincinnati is known for. By the way, it was once described as the worst regional dish in America. But I love it. I absolutely love it. And I have my parents send me spice packages in the mail every so often so I can make it in New York.
Nice.
Yeah. But I just thought that was crazy. And then I started to think about it, and I was like, you know what? It probably doesn't film very well. This like brown slop over noodles with cheese and just like flinging it everywhere.
Yeah, that one. And then slurping and all that kind of stuff. Are there peanut butter and jelly burgers in Cincinnati?
So I've heard mixed things about this. I've definitely heard of a PB&J burger. I do not know of one in Cincinnati. It might exist, but I've never had one. I know when we were in Tallahassee, there was that restaurant called Monk's who put peanut butter on the burger.
Yeah.
And I never had that. I was like, I can't put peanut butter on like a big thing of meat. I'm just not going to do it.
I like it. Extra protein.
And there's another point I want to make. So we're at the Conservatory. That is a real place. It's awesome. I have taken so many dates there. And let me tell you, it works every time.
Yeah, it's a nice place, right?
Yeah. But that's not what I was going to say. What I was thinking is that was actually kind of a terrible date. They show up and they're like, look at these really nice flowers. We're like guessing. And then he puts his skates on and just like skates around and leaves her standing there and gets them kicked out.
Yeah, he leaves her behind and she has to chase him. She's like, wait up.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, why does she like this? Like he's so spontaneous. He gets me kicked out of a place we paid to get into.
Yeah, and I don't even get to hang out with him because he's having fun and I have to chase him.
Yes.
So that's one of those, he's just so rakish. Or he's so, you're right, he's so spontaneous.
Yeah, I mean, he's not rakish. Like he's
rakish, yeah.
He's just like the dude. He's like, yeah, man, I'm totally chill. Nothing bothers me.
Yeah, you're right.
I would feel like we would be remiss if we didn't talk about this. So Devil's Backbone.
Yeah.
Devil's Backbone is not a real hill.
Oh, no.
It is a series of hills and locations that are in Cincinnati and northern Kentucky. So it's all over the place. And if you're watching this film and you understand the locations, and you've recognized them, they are jumping from Cincinnati to Cincinnati, Kentucky, going back and forth over the Ohio River. And that led me thinking, how would they do this in a race?
Ooh.
And I want to propose a question to you.
Yeah.
Do you think these skaters were jumpers?
Yes, 100%.
I do too. I was like, there's the only way. They're like